Greetings and salutations! Evening, Naked. Evening. Sorry I'm late. I'm late. Fuck it. I'm just always late to these things. You'd think that I'd get used to it by now and stop being late to my own damn show. But it's not happened yet, so it's probably not going to happen for a while. Hi, as always, I'm Karen Russmore, and welcome to my stream. This is my Tuesday-Thursday stream, where I'm playing Pillars of Eternity. I have made a decision. How was that dinner? The dinner was good. I mean, anybody who really knows me will know that I'm just a sucker for Italian food. Or Italian-like food, because, I don't feel the barbecue flavoring is Italian, but, just pasta, Italian-styled, sort of like bolognese with Worcestershire sauce and barbecue sauce thrown in there as well. It made for a really nice dish. It's supposed to last me 2 meals. I've eaten one of them. It is taking everything in me not to just boil up the rest of the pasta and eat the other meal today and starve tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, just like the chorizo and sweet corn last week, it's this rigatoni is just like nice. I don't have the problem with eating food. I just despise cooking. And I don't mind cooking, it's how long it takes to cook things. It was one of them where it's like you got to the reduce part of the mix and it's like, well, it's going to take a while, and it's like, you don't want to crack up the heat too high or else you'll burn the damn thing. But at the same token, it's like, I'm just boiling off water here, why can't I just crank it all the way up? And, well, you can't because you end up burning it, like I literally just said. But it's not like just standing around for 10 minutes while the pan bubbles. And I'm one of them where it's like I don't leave the kitchen when I'm cooking. It annoys me when people burn food. Even just like singeing it around the edges. I don't mind an honest mistake because I've burnt food while I'm in the kitchen. But if you're going to burn food by putting stuff into a pan or the oven or wherever and wandering away, I suppose with the oven it's slightly different because you know that it's going to be sort of like 20 minutes, half an hour. But you want to be there with your timer, and it's like, okay, I have a timer. This needs to be cooked for 20 minutes. I'm going to set it to 15 minutes. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to set the timer off, and then I'm going to go check it. Because, standing around for 20 minutes while the pizza cooks in the oven is not fun. But at the same token, it's like you've got the timer there. You're aware that you really do need to check that food when the timer goes off. And it just annoys me, especially if people are sort of like, oh, I cooked for you, and it's like it was fucking burnt. That wasn't cooking, it was incinerating. I appreciate the sentiment, I don't appreciate the effort because you didn't put any into it and it's burnt. So my mouth doesn't appreciate the flavors either. And that's when the fight started. Anyway. So yeah, I'm one of them where it's like, if I'm cooking, especially if it's on the countertop, I will be there for the entire duration, but at the same token, it's like, reduce. It'll take about 10 to 12 minutes, and it's like, oh god, just get on my phone, walk around on it, look over these things, and eventually, it reduced down. I have a feeling that it could have been reduced more if you wanted a less of a bolognese, more of a sauce I know that bolognese is a sauce, but you know what I mean. Or I hope you know what I mean. If you don't know what I mean, just poke me on the Discord. The link has gone into the chat. Welcome to our Discord. I say our Discord because it's co-founded with me, JStation64 Retro Ted, and Krifu Banal. We're all streamers. We all have similar interests, so join us in our general geekiness and video gaming. But one of the things that I'm doing recently is cooking, and also the other thing that I don't like is it says reduce. It doesn't tell you what you're trying to reduce it to. Now, if you take a pint of water and reduce it by half, you've reduced a lot of it, but it's still just fucking water. When it comes to a sauce, you put water in there, and it's like reduce it. So the water's there to get the sauce to cover everything and really sort of like penetrate in there, and then all you're doing to reduce is getting rid of some of that water. But are you going for turning it into a thicker liquid, a very thick liquid, or are you trying to turn it back into more of a sticky liquid where it's no longer really a liquid, it's more adhered and glued to whatever it is you're cooking? And they don't say that, they just say reduce. And so like, alright, give it 5 minutes, it's reduced. Not by very much, it's still sloppy, but it's reduced. I think that we should basically come up with the Moses factor. So you part the sauce, and then how long it takes to fill back in is your Moses factor. If it never fills back in, then it's full on Moses. Yeah, a bit more clarification will be good, especially if you're unfamiliar with the style and process, and just following directions. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I understand a lot of these things, but it's just I think it's more if you're unfamiliar with the dish that you're creating, which is likely to be the case if you're getting it from Just Eat. Not Just Eat. They're the people who live in my takeaway. HelloFresh. HelloFresh, it's I'm using that because I don't know what to cook for myself, so I'm going for whatever looks good. Hi Shin the Ninja Penguin. That name rings a bell. It's a fantastic name. I think I've mentioned that before. Welcome to the stream. I will stop ranting about the food and the Discord in just a moment. But yeah, if you join in our Discord, you can get a blow-by-blow of me cooking, which is me basically massacring food and calling it done. But anyway, we are playing Pillars of Eternity. Where are we up to? Oh, that was it. We'd investigated the missing daughter of some lord, and he turned out to be an arsehole and had gotten her pregnant. And then we've discovered this cult who was brainwashing her into being to basically just at the right time explode and kill everybody and just completely shred the house's name. And it's like, I agree with your sentiment. I agree with the outcome. What I don't like is the methodology. Taking this innocent woman and making her into a weapon of destruction with by brainwashing her. It wasn't even total mind messing brainwashing here. We're not talking about, just sort of like indoctrinating them into a cult. If they'd have gone like that, I probably would have been so like, yeah, sure. But as it was, it's like, no, I don't like your methods. I agree with your sentiments and your desired outcomes, but not your methods. So I ended up killing all of those. The cultists. Now I've left there, I want to know whether I can just kill this guy. Because like I say, I agree with their wanted outcome is this guy should die. But didn't quite get up to that point. I should possibly start thinking about putting content warnings on some of this stuff. Because it's not like the second game I played where it's like, oh, that's gone a direction that I'm not entirely sure shouldn't have some content warning on there. I need to look it up. Actually, I'm going to do that now before I go any further. I think I know the there we go. Yep, okay. So if anybody has any content warnings that they want to avoid, I highly recommend checking out this website called Does the Dog Die? It's one of them where it's like it'll give you a list of things where it's like just looking at this one, is there a dead animal? And the answer is yes, there are dead animals. You will kill some animals. Does the dog die? Yes. Wolves are a fairly common enemy. Does an animal die? Yes. There's a variety of monsters that can be killed, and various animals such as elk are hunted. Are animals abused? No. Is there dog fighting? No. Are there bugs? Yes. Does a dragon die? Yes. And it goes through a lot of these, as well as to some more deeper questions that you might want to avoid for content purposes. By all means, if anybody goes through that list and finds something that they don't want to experience, by all means drop out, join the Discord. I'll let you know when I'm next streaming something else, and there's always there seems to always be somebody these days streaming something. I do believe Retro Ted is actually streaming at the moment, and they're playing Crusader No Remorse, where it doesn't have animals dying, for example. But yeah, it's well worth checking out that website. I think I'm gonna have to make a auto message for the games that I play, just in case, because it's one of them. I don't feel fair just thrusting this upon people. I don't like it when it's being thrust upon me, but it's one of them where I'm luckily emotionally stable enough that it doesn't really affect me, because at the end of the day I can just be like, it's a video game. I'm just going to accept that that's a narrative that they went with. And if it gets too much, then it'd be like, I'm no longer comfortable streaming this game, and I'll just stop playing it. But yeah. Anyway, okay, let us get back to the game. I say get back to the game. Let's get to the game for this time, this session. Right, let's kill the music. And go to the game scene and switch that over, and load. And the end of session 15. Dryford Village. Where we're now going to see if we can murder this lord for being an arsehole. Because he is an arsehole. Bum ba bum. Ba 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 bum. Say that there's always somebody streaming on the Discord. One of our viewers or part of the community has gone live. I don't know what they're playing. Sorry if you're that member of the community and you watch this on the VODs. It's just I'm in the middle of a stream, so I can't either A, come join you, or B, watch. Has he left already?
Be cautious. Be constant.
Where is this guy? Oh, Harrond is resting upstairs. Okay, great stuff. Need to play this game. Yeah, I've got this game on the Kickstarter. I got it as soon as it was released, and Yeah. Okay, you're not those people. Where is this guy? Nope, nope. Ah, Lord Harrond.
Be cautious. Be constant.
And save. And talk to the guy.
What are you doing up here?
An elven.
Have you news of my daughter? I've got to get her out of this wretched village.
An elven man paces in the corner of the room, gnawing on the thumb of his fine silk glove. He resumes his pacing. I found Elise.
My daughter? Is she safe?
I let her go.
That can't be. What happened?
His face is ashen. He looks back at you, his eyes suddenly fearful. What happened? I know exactly what... You know exactly what I discovered. I should kill you for what you did. You can't get her now, and that's what matters. I'll tell everyone what you did. You're a monster. I didn't come here to talk. Pay up or get out of here. You know exactly what I discovered.
I don't know what you're referring to, but I've heard enough already. Take this, and let's put this unpleasantness behind us.
Indeed. My thoughts exactly. Kill him. Your blow dispatches the old man more quickly than you'd like, but you're confident no one has heard you. You are also confident that no one will ask too many questions when they find him dead. I'm taking your stuff because, you know... Ha. See, despite the unpleasant nature of that narrative, at least it came to what I feel is an acceptable outcome. They also got himself killed. I say killed. I murdered him, but I feel no guilt in the matter. I was expecting more cheer from these people now that the Lord is gone, but oh well. Right, no. Oh wait, no, we're putting you on the stealth route, aren't we? Vicious companion. Yeah, let's go with the vicious companion. It sounds reasonable enough. But yeah, I've had this game since it released after the Kickstarter. I've played it on and off and tried to get into it, but never really managed it. It's only, you know, now that I'm streaming and I said that I'd play it, I may end up playing it twice a week and are getting through some of these long haul games, which is good. Right, let's see if we can figure out how you work. I mean, stealth? Shadow? It's one of them with so few skills. You know, you've got 6 party members and 5 skills. And I feel that it's like you're wasting points if you're not specializing. Because most of the time, if you're... Yes, okay, stealth might be useful for everybody, as might be athletics. A little bit. You know, they're all potentially a little bit useful, but lore, it's like... Oh, if you've got high enough lore, you can use a scroll of higher levels. It's like, why would anybody who isn't a spellcaster or really needing this, using the scrolls anyway, take the lore? And plus as well, if you've got one member of your party who's got a really high lore score, why does anybody else need lore at all? They don't. And the same kind of applies for a lot of these other things. It's like the stealth. You're not going to be able to get the entire party to be very stealthy. So it's more reconnaissance and sneaking past people that you want the stealth for. In which case you only need one person with a high stealth. Survival is kind of useful for everybody. But at the same token, it doesn't really pay to have many skill points in this. So the survival, when you put 1 rank in it, you get damage reduction. When you put 2 ranks in it, you can either have damage reduction or received healing multiplier, but not both. And so these aren't significant enough bonuses, I feel, to justify the multiple ranks. So 1 rank for everybody in survival, get the damage reduction, gives you a boom when you sleep, and ta-da, that's all I feel you really need. Mechanics, again, 1 person, if they can unlock every door and disarm every trap, why does anybody else need it? But plus as well, they're not going to be able to be good at the stealth because they've focused in the mechanics. After that, it's lore and stealth that might be useful to a lot of people, but I only bought Pillars of Eternity games because some told me they are as fun as the original Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, and Neverwinter Nights games. I have to disagree with your statement there. It's like Neverwinter Nights was okay, but I didn't find the original campaign particularly thrilling. But they are very much in the same vein as Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale. You can probably tell by the interface. It's very similar kind of thing. The classes are nice. The gameplay is smooth. There's a lot of different classes that have spell or spell-like abilities. One of the things is because it's not based in or around the Dungeons and Dragons system, like those you previously mentioned is they're not allowed to use spells that are from the Dungeons and Dragons. So sometimes it's like you do have to, at least the first time you're playing it, and the first time you'll see a new class, it's like, okay, going between, what does that mean? An ally superficially takes on the form of a spirit. Their movement is increased, and incoming crits, hits, and grazes are converted to a less severe result. Requires 40 focus. The speed is fast. The range is 10 meters. It can be interrupted per 0.5 seconds. Effects. Allied target. 25% of crits are converted to hits. 25% of incoming hits are converted to grazes. 25% of incoming grazes are converted to misses. Plus 3 movement speed for 45 seconds. Okay. That's that one. Now, what's this do? Wild Leech. 10 points of stolen from a random attribute for 10 minutes. Okay, that's not too bad. A Mind Lance. I do just like straight up damage. It's easy. Impales the target with a lance of pure force, inflicting major pierce damage to anyone in the line of attack with a high chance of causing interrupt. So the main thing here is target is area effect is the target and the length of 14.2 meters, and the effect, it doesn't say enemy effect, so this or enemy targets or friendly targets, so it basically means it's going to target everybody in that line, which is a little bit dangerous. So we'll see what body attunement is. Foe target, there we go. Foe target is the one which we're really looking for. Is like 7 damage reduction stolen for 20.3 seconds. The cipher probes the mind and soul of the enemy target, finding the strengths in its defenses and stealing them for his or her own. Drains a portion of the target's damage reduction, granting the same amount as a bonus to the cipher. That's kind of nice. It's not straight up damage dealing, but armor in this is basically based on damage reduction. So if you're wearing heavy armor, then you'll have 10 damage reduction. And so every time you get hit, it's reduced by 10 points of damage. This isn't going to damage them, but it does mean that every hit, rather than reducing by 10, will be reduced by 4 for 20 seconds. So it does give a bit of a damage boost there. And also, that is then converted as well to buffing the cipher, and they'll take less damage. I'm all in favor of that. And then we've got a talent. What's this? Psychic Bash-like invokes a retaliatory strike, stunning the enemy whenever the target of a cipher's will defense. Invokes a retaliatory strike, stunning an enemy whenever they target the cipher's will defense. Oh, okay. So anybody who tries casting a will-like ability at the cipher, the cipher is a unique-ish class to Pillars of Eternity, by the way. They're gonna be stunned for a bit. That doesn't sound too bad. A lot of these are sort of like, these are abilities from other classes. I'm not a big fan of those. These tend to be more weapons and abilities. Not too fussed about those for the spellcasters, especially. There's usually something better in there. Defensive, pretty much the same, and utility. I don't know. I'm not impressed with the selection of talents in this game. I gotta say, it's like they're not bad, but they're not fantastic. I like the idea of being made to make a will save as a trigger for a counter attack of sorts. That's neat. Yeah, that's my thinking about it. There's some enemies. I'm trying to remember if it's one that you've thrown at us, J-Station, that can do that. Oh, no, that's it. It's in a Pathfinder 2e game. And by the way, hi, J-Station. So yeah, the noble from last time is dead. All of his guys have left. We have done good things today. We killed a cult. We killed an arrogant and corrupt lord. And, most importantly, we got away with it.
You'd have better odds against Estelgar.
Right. Cat and mouse. Scout Dryford village for Nefri. Nefri told me that someone is looking for her. She asked me to check around town for any suspicious figures. I mean, there was a cult. We killed those guys. They were kind of suspicious. Did they count? As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. You see a black-clad figure, bent low and moving slowly through a field. The figure holds a gleaming blade in his hand, keeping it hidden behind his back. He approaches another man who is crouched over, actions hidden by a large bush he has crawled halfway under. The figure stops moving as a man comes out from under the bush. You see that it is this man holding a handful of berries he has retrieved from a smaller bush that lies hidden in the undergrowth that surrounds it. He crawls back under the large bush, his arms moving aside as he picks the berries. The figure begins moving again, slinking towards the man. He does not stop picking, but you see his head tilt very slightly to the side. He continues to work at the bush until the figure is almost on him. He backs out, hands full, and places the berries in the basket. Then he crouches before the basket, sorting the berries, removing leaves and any berries that doesn't look perfect. The figure comes up behind the man and raises the blade to strike. The man suddenly rocks back on his feet, spinning around to face the figure behind him. He grabs the figure's wrist and falls onto his back, planting a leg in the center of the figure's chest. The figure flies over the man and lands on his back in the dirt. The man is straddling the figure in an instant, his hand snapping out, hitting several points around the head and neck. The figure immediately falls unconscious. The man stands and retrieves the basket, collecting the berries and placing them back where they belong. Then he returns to the picking. See, they don't count as suspicious because that was just all in their head, or my head. I'm not sure whose heads these are in. It's their soul. I'm just reading it because I can. As you near, you feel the vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. You see this man in the middle of the forest, back against a tree. His head is turned and he strains to hear something. He turns his head in the other direction and slowly slides down the tree, ending in a crouch. He cautiously moves forward, keeping to the shadows. His steps are silent as he gingerly places his feet between twigs and leaves. A grunting noise echoes through the quiet morning, and shuffling footsteps rustle as they approach him. He cranes his neck around the trunk of the tree and spies its target. He edges his way around the tree, keeping it between him and his quarry. The shuffling comes closer, and grunting now accompanied by a wet snuffle. Bracing himself against a tree, he holds his position, waiting. Then, with almost supernatural grace, he pushes himself from the tree and swings around it to the right, practically running along its trunk, floating as he moves. He lands in front of the boar, rooting its way through the clearing, his knife flicking lightning quick across its neck. Before the startled animal can even react, he leaps onto its back, squeezing his knees into its side and gripping the hair on the back of its neck. The beast starts to buck and tries to run from the attacker, but the man merely holds on and waits for the inevitable, enjoying the thrill of his hard-earned feast, thinking about what herbs he would bring out the boar's natural flavors best. In seconds, the struggle is over, and the thrill is gone, replaced by the same dull craving that brought him here in the first place. It has left him faster even than the last time, and already he thinks about how he might top it. By the way, if you do play this game, or choose to play this game, don't worry, you don't have to read any of these people. If their nameplate is in a slightly golden color, it's always the same. As you near, you feel the vibrant history contained in this man or woman's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. You then get a bit of a blurb, but you don't have to read. Don't worry about it. I'm just reading them because I can, and I do enjoy these little tidbits, for the most part. Some are a little weird, but for the most part they're enjoyable. You see a man stumble, unfamiliar vestments tripping him. He pushes himself to his feet, unsteady, and continues along the empty road. His lips are chapped and dry, skin glazed with dust, but something about the set of his jaw tells you he has far yet to walk. As night strains the sky, he stops. Stains the sky, he stops, whispering a fire into existence with the help of some wood. He attempts to sleep, staring into the stars. He continues in this fashion for several days, only occasionally drinking water from his goat's skin as he moves. It takes him days to reach the temple, and when he does, his knees falter and give way, crashing him to the ground. The monks take him in, and he shares his tidings, meaningless to anyone but them. And when he has recovered, he begins anew, his stride strengthened with food and rest, mind clear with meditation and purpose, and a long way yet to walk. Hello, are you suspicious? Who have we got in the chat this evening? Because I have... Oh, I killed a... Did I turn that in? I don't think I've turned that in yet. I killed a troll. And this guy wanted them dead. Rumbald. Any sign of that ogre or its head? Hold up the ogre's head. Is this what you were looking for? He slaps his thigh and hoots. Blazes! That thing's even uglier than I thought. And look at the size of it. He squints, open-mouthed, into the ogre's dead eyes. He takes the head in both arms, heedless of the stinking drizzle of blood that fouls his clothes. I got big plans for this. You wait right here. He disappears into the house and returns with a blunderbuss in his hands. I call it the lead splitter. Lead splitter or lead splitter? Lead splitter. It belonged to my father and served me in the Saints' War. It's old but sturdy, and it packs a real punch. Should be more useful to someone like yourself these days. He pulls a pouch from his pocket. Oh, and 600 coppers for your trouble. You gain the item, lead splitter, added to your inventory. Keep the money. You could use it to rebuild your herd. He reddens again, this time with embarrassment. That's mighty thoughtful of you. It'll be another 6 months before any of these can breed anyway. He crosses his arms and looks at the piglets. Although, he takes one of the pigs and gives it a quick examination. This runt's still looking too small. I don't expect to get any good litters out of it, and I'd sooner just not have to it weaken the rest of my stock. Why don't you take it? One less mouth to feed, anyway. A piglet trots over to you, its pink snout wiggling. I do believe I've now got a new pet. I got a piglet as a pet. Okay. This isn't going to be a fan favourite, but I'm benching the cat in favour of the piglet. Because who doesn't want to have lunch walking around after you? I'm around just chilling out trying to sort things out after insinuating he may have eaten the livestock. Yay, emergency bacon. Emergency bacon indeed. Magcat Joy Station, could you look up who I'm supposed to be looking for in this? There's a task. Pillars of Eternity, Cat and Mouse. I've spoken with Nyefre, Nyfre, and I'm supposed to be on the lookout for somebody. I have no idea who that somebody is, or where they might be on this entire map. So if we can get a bit of a pointer, it would be much appreciated. Trying to see if any of the sides of the place. I think I came around this corner. Try over by the church. They're always suspicious over those. West end of Dryford Village, in the northern end of the bridge. So about here, I can drop the PC name if needed. I mean, to a certain degree, a lot of the people around here are just called villager or have the golden name tag, so... Medrith is a guess. An elf idles by the road, watching the village across the river. He nods as you approach, and the cowled figures standing near him fall silent.
How do you do?
Greetings, my friends. A slow smile forms as he eyes you. I've heard of you. Word is that you've been busy in Defiance Bay. He draws closer. I'm busy too, and eager to finish my business and get back to the city. What business is that? Haven't you heard? There's a murderer on the loose. Said to have gone mad with the grief and strangled a dozen healthy children with her own when her own was hollowborn. He nods at the figures with him. We've come all the way from Defiance Bay to bring her to justice. So why are you standing around here? He nods across the river. She's hiding out in the village. We go in after her ourselves, but the problem is she knows our faces, and there's no telling what she'd do if she saw us coming. We'd like to avoid any further unnecessary bloodshed. He leans closer. Her name's Nyefre. She's an Orlan. We want to get her out of town so that we can deal with her cleanly. She knows we're looking for her, but if someone were to convince her that it's safe to leave... If she's a mass murderer, why didn't the Duke send the Crucible Knights after her? Powers that be want to keep things quiet, for obvious reasons. Better not to cause a fuss, and certainly better not to startle her by doing something drastic. I'm not so sure about this. He lays a strong hand on your shoulder. A mad woman like that is everybody's problem, friend. Just keep an eye out. If you come across her, remember what I told you. I promise I'll make it worth your while. Okay. So this is one of them where it's like, could very easily go either way on this one. She didn't seem all that mad with grief when I spoke to her. Also, there seems to be a lot of people in here for just one person.
Greetings.
How does it look out there? See anything suspicious? Someone told me you were responsible for Someone told me you were responsible for heinous killings in Defiance Bay. Let me guess. That was someone named Medrith? She draws her stiletto. It's a lie. Plain and simple. I got on the wrong side of his employers, and now he's after me. But if you're here to do his dirty work, I won't make it easy on you. Relax, I just wanted to hear your side of the story. What story? The Domidels came after me. I just happened to rob the wrong place. How was I supposed to know that they'd already claimed it? She runs her hand under her hood and through her hair. It was an honest mistake. I'm just trying to survive now, and if you spoke to Medrith, you know where he's waiting. Please, help me get out of here. Go east. Medrith's waiting for you just west of the river. She nods slowly. All right, I'm trusting you. Don't have much choice. See if you can send him the other way. That should buy me some more time. She follows the hooded figures towards the stairs, giving you a final uncertain glance as she passes through the door. I don't like the Domidels. Can I loot this now? Come in, bacon. Yoink. As I'm going through this, I'm slowly getting more, so I don't want to be reading every single book. If I see a book and it looks interesting just by the title alone, then maybe I'll read it, but there's a lot of reading in this game already with all the everything that this game is. Which I enjoy, but it's one of them where it's like I can only take so much. And when I hit that saturation point, it's better to skip it rather than trying to force myself to read it anyway. So we go back and say hi.
Greetings.
He picks a long blade from the glass. Found Nifra yet? I'm ready to get out of here. She snuck out the back of the inn and went north. He squints at you, pulling the grass between two flimsy threads. Did she now? And how would you have known that? I was just hoping you'd believe me. Medrith draws his blade. Don't worry, I'll catch up to her right after I take care of you. Well, that's not very nice. I mean, I tried to give you some solid advice, and what do? You think that I care about your opinion in the slightest. Trying to remember which chant it is that I want. I really need to give these better names. Is it this one? Yeah, it is chant 2 that I want. And you will murder this guy. This guy is going to end up so dead. Oh no, you're stood right next to him. You go and engage that one. Yep, made quick work of that guy. And this is what we call a massacre. See that, you know, the numbers of damage come off these people. Oh, I'm guessing it's because I killed the ranger. Their pet also died at the same time, which is why it just suddenly took 234. It's just, it says 234 and it's like, who did 234 points of damage? And I don't think it was anybody. I think that was the game just cleaning up after itself. It's like, the board no longer has an owner. It does. Oh, it's so much easier just to murder everybody. Ooh. This is leveled up again. Calls the dominated affliction 15 times with a grade Hewin's stands to unlock the next level. 15. Gref's authority. Once per encounter average speed, target 1.5 feet, 22 to 32 crush damage, plus 15% raw damage as raw, accuracy plus 20 versus deflection. If successful, stunned for 6 seconds, accuracy plus 20 versus will. But that doesn't really matter, it's more this 10% chance on the dominate that will level it up again. Nice.
Hey.
Alright, nothing much of interest, so everything goes in the box. Right, oh, the nest egg. I'm glad I'm checking this journal because it's like, I totally forgot that I found the wyvern's nest. Wyvern's nest? The dragon nest and the worms. And picked up the egg. I'm also acutely aware that my phone battery is dying and that's what I'm using to monitor chat. I think it should be okay. It was at 25% when I started streaming. It's been nearly an hour and it's lost 6%. And it just needs to last 3 hours, which should be a further 12%, so I should finish on 7%, which would give me an extra hour despite the fact that I only need like another 15 minutes. Math. Oh, I don't care about you. What? Why am I in here? Is this not the place? I am not paying attention to what I'm doing. Oh, Winfried, not Winfried, hey, Hedden is the person with the cart, isn't
Good day,
it?
stranger.
She just wanted her bandages. Anything else I can get for you? I've got some handy ointments if you're braving the roads anytime soon. I found the dragon egg. Hylas, feathered tits. She clasped her hands together, wincing in the pain. I knew you could help. How'd you manage it? I found the nest you spoke of. Hope those worms didn't give you too much trouble. Let him see her then. Let's see her then. She cradles the egg with her good arm. Amazing. Not a single crack. She runs her bandaged hand across the shell. She hefts the egg into the back of the wagon and rummages among her shelves. Here, take this. She drops a stack of coins and a parcel of ingredients into your hands. Everything you need to brew a good, strong pick-me-up. Should come in handy with the right kinds of scrapes you seem to get into. She leans closer. And come see me anytime you need potions or ingredients, alright? I got a special price for friends. She winks. Show me your wares, sure thing. But the best prices are just for you. And now I get the best prices on things that I don't really use, so... Okay. Let us sell some junk. Junk. I'm not going to say junk for every single one of these things that is junk, but there's a lot of junk. I think I also decided at some point I just need to start selling off these things. Because fine is all fine and well, but, you know, most of us have better than fine, or at least fine. But there are the exceptionals, which is better, but nobody uses a exceptional morning star, a fine dagger, a fine hatchet. I think we're safe to sell pretty much everything. If not, I'll regret it later. This is the same thing with the armor. It's like everything now that I'm coming across is fine. I feel that they could have done with, you know, I appreciate that in the traditional sense of, you know, Baldur's Gate and the like, it's like they didn't have multiple colours for these things. Anything that was magical just had a blue outline. Although it might have been shaded blue, and when you identified it, it had a blue outline. Something like that. And it's very similar here, but at the same token, it's like I feel that more colours would have been better so that we can differentiate between what's fine, exceptional, and the like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. We killed a lot of cultists. And each one of these is worth 10 gold. And now we're 20,000 copper pieces or richer. And you have a fine selection of weapons and armor now to trade. Right, what else do we have? Safe Haven. Go to Valtas Mausoleum in Heritage Hill. No, that's in Heritage Hill. Speak to Wayla. I've dealt with later on. She should no longer trouble the Crucible Knights or anyone else in Heritage Hill. I should go to Crucible Keep in the first fires and tell Wayla what happened. And the Parable of Whale. Retrieve a stolen scroll. Grimdar said one of the thieves mentioned an abandoned farmhouse on the path to Dryford. Well, we're in Dryford, and I don't remember seeing a farmhouse. Although, did I actually just pick it up and not realise that I picked it up? Nope, that's not a scroll or a quest item. See, I've also got all these bleeding weapons. What's this? Oh, this is the damage reduction against burn and sunbeam. Switch out that and then put that away. I don't like that item anywho. See, the unique ones and different ones have a gold background at least. So it's got that over Baldur's Gate. But at the same token, it's one of them where it's like, I don't think anybody uses it. Oh, say don't think anybody uses a dagger. You use a dagger. Here, have a fancy dagger that you'll never use. It's a blunderbuss. Nobody uses a blunderbuss. A quarterstaff. they might use a quarterstaff, but they're currently using the relic or bound weapon. The bound scepter, the soul bound scepter, which is really useful because it levels up and has some nice things. So I think that can go in there. Put the trap on the person with all the traps, because you never know. One of these days, those might come in handy. They won't. I'll never use them, but they might come in handy. I do wonder when these are going to open up. Or is this something that you're supposed to unlock with those talents? Game seems to be fairly generous with the loot. The game is reasonably generous with the loot. I mean, most of the stuff that I've just picked up and sold off, it's like, you know, a lot of games like this are, you know, I think the best parallel to come up with is like in Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls games. It's like if you see somebody wearing something and you kill them, then they're going to be dropping armor. If you see them wielding a weapon, they're going to be wielding weapons. So the amount of loot that I'm getting is just kind of comparable to that. Only thing is, it's because I don't have the weight limit when it comes to the stash. I'm not in any way, shape or form running the risk of becoming overburdened. And because of that, I don't feel that I'm worried. See, it's slightly better DR, and it's slightly less recovery disadvantage. Oh, I was going to say, but they are called Blood-Blessed Skyne Cultist Robes. And it's like, that could look a little bit creepy, but they don't actually look too bad. So I think I'll keep it. There's a bit on the fence about it. Grant's Fireball. Oh, you've already got a cloak. Does anybody have a neck slot for these? I don't think anybody does.
Your thoughts
I'm just
must
kind of
be
curious as to...
indeed.
It says it grants Fireball. Unless it's only for the spellcaster who can cast Fireball?
How may I help?
No. Although you've already got Fireball equipped, I'd have to switch out. Inventory. Take that book away from you. Yeah, that doesn't have Fireball in it. Wait for the thing. But yeah, a lot of these style games are fairly generous on the loot, although... Okay, so I don't know how it's granting you Fireball. Alright, that can go in there, that can go back on you, and that can go back on you. We're just going to file that one away as I don't have the patience to try and figure it out. Right, so... I don't know. I mean, we're kind of heading that way anyway. So we'll head up to there and then maybe come back and look for this piece of paper. Just all, it's on the road to Dryford. It's just all, is it in the Stonewall Gorge? Is it in the Wooden End Plains? Is there another way here that I've not discovered yet? How's the stronghold doing? Oh yeah, we got a prestigious visitor. We got something on the go? We do. 1 day and 17 hours for the woodland trails. Alright, if I am not mistaken, J Station 64, here has been in the chat and is one of the founders of the Stumbled In, should be going off to set up for their stream, where they're going to be spending the next 3 hours playing some No Man's Sky. He should be going off. Are you not streaming this evening, or is this all like your final 5 minutes? Or are you just not up for it today?
This is the place. My big brother's last battle. Wish I could tell you what we're looking for.
Ida scans the lush landscape before you in all directions. He presses his lips together. I'm on countdown. We'll be live shortly. But yeah, so J-Station 64 is playing some No Man's Sky over on his channel. I don't think there's many content warnings in No Man's Sky as there seems to be in Pillars of Eternity. So if you want to go over there, even if anyone wants to actually shout out the channel, it'll provide a link. But if not, we will be raiding them later from this channel. So if you'll stick with me until about 11 o'clock, and then we'll go and raid over for the last hour of J-Station stream. And yeah, I'll catch you over there, J-Station, when I'm done here.
Anything from that battle, I guess. Whatever 15 years of rain hasn't buried. You see my brother's ghost, you give me a holler, alright?
He looks at you and winks. A man stands before you, his face smeared with green and orchid dyes. Hides and furs cover his body, and he holds a spear in one hand.
Tread carefully, Estramor.
Estramor. He bares his teeth that have been filed to fine points back to your village, Estramor. You're lucky that 3 Tusk Stelgar hunt other quarry today. I'm looking for a group of people who may have already entered the ruin. So are we. He runs his thumb along the smooth wood of the spear. And that is why we await here, Estramor. And that is why I have decided to let you leave in peace. These individuals are enemies of mine too. If you let me in, I could bring them out for you. He laughs. And allow even more Esthramoran and to trample sacred ground? Certainly not. Never mind the fact that the ones inside are probably picking the place clean as we speak. What will you do? We will wait. If they are inside, they must come out. And when they do, he slides a fingertip along the point of his spear and shows you a drop of blood. What do you know about Caliban Rylak? It is a sacred place of the builders, and neither your feet nor ours shall sully its stones. The grasses, however. He grins and hefts his spear. I would gladly water with your blood. Alright. Calm down. 3 Tusks Stelgar? His snarling grin widens. Have the farmers grown too fearful to even mention our name? We are the fiercest of the 6 tribes in Air Glanfarth, and we are the guardians of the monument here. I've never heard of the builders. He makes an exasperated clicking noise with his tongue. They are known by other names in the heathen tongues of the farm folk. They are the ancients who build this place and more like it. And we of the 6 tribes guard their legacy. I'll be going. And do not come this way again. Alright, calm down.
Not much here.
Murder you in a minute.
Too recent.
Not entirely sure what I'm looking for here. I mean a ghost
I
of...
think I see. No, never mind. Nothing over here. I guess they cleaned up real good after the battle. This is embarrassing.
I like the way that it's giving little shout outs. But it's one of them where it's like, could they have not done this in more places in the game?
Can't guard that place forever. These ruins are claimed, friend. On your way.
No need to get riled, boys. We're just passing by.
Look at his talisman tag. Eothasian. How about that? A godless sack of shit. We got a blazing corpse worshiper on our hands.
Actually, they never found the body.
Ida fumes, his mouth open to say something, then closes it. He quickly replaces his frown with a polite smile.
Only reason for the legacy is because the Duke doesn't got the guts to see you all slaughtered. The gods want you dead. Me and Pag, though, we done our part during the purges, didn't we, Pag?
Seamstresses?
Make your cracks now. Got no god or homeland to avenge you. By Margaret, this'll be short work.
Do you always swear by your god when you do the devil's work?
Doesn't matter who it was for anyway. Country's better for the purges. Maybe we start a new purge right here.
Would they be dead on?
That's not very helpful.
I mean, you'd think they'd learn a little bit.
That was short work.
Fine arblast, exceptional breastplate. Nothing of interest. Some camping supplies. The tip of the metal object protrudes from the mound of watery river silt. With both hands, you and I begin digging in the mud until the object is dislodged. You close your hand around it and pull it from the wet earth. The object is a steel, semicircular frame, about the size of your fist. Even... At even points around the semicircle, jagged points jut out like tongues of flame, the rays of a rising sun. Oh my word. My brain has turned off. It's been a long day today. I hit the ground running at 9 o'clock and I've barely had a chance to stop since. No, I've... My eyes just... tired. Right. Focus! Saying focus and trying to open your eyes is not a good... It feels like I've got onion in my eye. Right. Blink a few times. Are you gonna behave? No, you're not gonna behave. Oh my word. I don't know if I was cutting onions before for eating, and I'm pretty sure I've washed my hands several times since then, but oh my word. My eyeballs. Are you gonna behave now? Think they're gonna behave. At the sun's center is a carved silhouette of a volus plant.
I've seen these before. They top the standards of Raid Ceres. Or did when Weidman was alive. Well, it's something. Just not sure what it gets me.
Show to grieving mother. Do you think you can help us? Look, I appreciate you taking the initiative, but I don't think there's much chance that this nice strange lady happens to be a cipher. The grieving mother looks at you. I will do what I can, but I will need the skill of a watcher to aid my own. To identify the soul once I have found its traces. She turns to Ida, her hands outstretched. Ida hands her the steel sun. The motion is mechanical, unconscious. The grieving mother takes the sun in one hand and yours in the other, and you can feel her presence in your mind, her thoughts bidding you to relax. Focus, she says, and the word reverberates as if through an endless chasm? I think through an endless chasm. You close your eyes and concentrate. The sun is bright in your mind's eye, warm with the pulse of a collective experience and noisy with the thoughts of the past, of battle, of faith, of home. You drift from voice to voice, thought to thought. Ida's soul is a vibrant signature with which to locate his brother. One voice stands out amidst the din, brassy and earnest. A shade brighter than Ida's, but unmistakably of the same construction. You have no image of its owner, but his journey is imprinted within the points and curves of the steel sun, and in your mind it opens before you as a path stretching both southward to the Gilded Vale and northward to the unseen terrain that joins direward to Ceres. You trace the pack back to its origin, far back as you can find, gliding over plains and hillsides, to a one-room home in Gilded Vale, with a thatched roof and a dirt floor. The path is faint here, its distance in time rendering images blurry and details scarce. From the Gilded Vale it follows the roll From the Gilded Vale it follows the road towards Magram Bridge, reaches the gate of Defiance Bay before diverting abruptly, cutting northward in a beeline for Riyadh Ceres. The path leads to the Riyadh Ceres city, regal and austere in the Adra imperial style. It winds through the streets and climbs a grand set of stairs into a stately building, passing through pointed archways into what appears to be a throne room. Upon the throne sits a man whose head is pure, brilliant, blinding light, and as its gaze turns to you, the light drowns out all else. Its voice carries the force of thunder, but its words are impossible to make out in the imprint. Echoes of echoes. The voice and light fade, and the path bends backwards, carrying you along to a barracks, then back southwards, marching into Direwood and skirmishing along the way. Once upon the battlefield, the imprint is vivid, and you see the Riyadh Saren standard topped with the steel sun clutched in the hands of a fallen soldier. You see a young man from Riyadh Saren armor with Ida's straw-coloured hair race towards the standard and lift it. The path you have been following clear to see beneath his feet, and as his hand brushes a steel tip, you can hear his thoughts racing in a blur, and they are of his God and his country, and a brother he hopes is far away from this place. In an instant, all thoughts are gone, as well as the man, and the standard is passed to another soldier. You pick up the path again as it meanders south and disintegrates into the shadow of Caliban Rylag. You open your eyes.
Anything? Looked like you were working real hard there.
Your brother got as far as Defiance Bay before turning to Riyadh Saras instead. He met Waidwin there, then he enlisted.
Well, what did he talk about with Widewin?
Did I make sense of it? I don't think I did. It was echoes of echoes? Its voice carries the force of thunder, but its words are impossible to make out from the imprint. I don't know.
That's not funny. Come on. That metal sun, my brother touched it. You saw where he went. Now what'd he talk about with Widewin? Why'd my brother fight for Riyadh Saras?
I wish I'd have something better to tell you.
I guess that's it.
Ida's mouth hangs open, his eyes glaze, his forehead creased between his eyebrows. He rakes his teeth over his lower lip, his voice barely a whisper. We'll find some other way to know why he did what he did.
I don't think we will. What will we do? Look for more war relics? We were lucky to find this one. Soldiers that fought with him are long dead. The battle was a massacre. Whatever Aethys knows, he's not talking to anyone.
A new look has come over Ida, lifeless and dull as ash. We don't have to wait around anymore. I got what I needed. If only there were words to fill such emptiness, better yet, to remove his doubt, his questions. I regret that my answers have only deepened his pain. A broken river lies before you. Most of it appears to have crumbled into the river centuries ago, leaving two jagged ledges on either side of the water. You see a yawning passage into the mountain on the other side, and you might be able to jump across the gap. Jump to the other side. Sanagi misjudges the gap and barely makes it across, spraining a wrist in the process. Oh, they're guarding that bridge. We've just jumped that one, I guess. Bye. You'd think there would be, guarding both of them just in case. have a troll.
Word they be.
You're not getting through.
And who's this?
You're not getting through me.
We managed to dominate the troll.
Hey. Francis!
This artifact is really powerful.
You're not getting through me.
Dead on.
And it really does help swing this back around. Or swing it into your favor more so than anything else, I feel. How can the people of virtues resist the profane and lawless? Where can the elm dig its roots so that the storms cannot wash them out?
Dead on.
By the way, Shin the Ninja Penguin. One thing to note is you mentioned you like the idea of it because it sounds a little bit like Baldur's Gate and a little bit about Icewind Dale. One of the things about the DLCs for this is they're called the White Marsh. And while most of the game has a fairly sort of like Baldur's Gate feel, you know, lots of countrysides, a city, and that kind of thing, the White Marsh is actually set in the area that is specifically styled after the frozen north of Faerun, Icewind Dale. Just a little tidbit to throw out there. You know, that's how much. Just stop.
We here.
Do wish it cancelled the movement when you've discovered a trap, but it don't.
Leave it to me.
Back up, back up, back up. That's still poisonous.
Hey.
Sharp eyes and keen ears.
You're gonna creep around here and hopefully discover the traps before we send any more of them off.
You're not getting through me.
Word.
Dead on.
Of course.
Word they build on.
Hey, that's suddenly opened up all the way over there.
Dead on.
Earn. Rite of Ancient Legends.
Word they build on sal. That's
Prigma, Corrupted Druids. This is a fun place to be. Hmm.
Dead on.
You think these guys would help out their friends across the room? Oh. Everybody attack that one now. Because we have dominated that one. Now wait, and attack. Dominated it again. And finish murdering it. Never could Pilkos accord with. Never could Pilkos accord with their chiefs. Can a people find order when sunset brings darkness, but never a map to the stars of the sky? Never the spirit and always the flesh are the people of lowered eyes.
Werde bildan sa.
That's not very helpful.
Pelagina is constantly getting confused or stunned or something.
My bow's ready.
Got some dank swallows.
That's it.
Hey Saber, how goes it?
You're not getting through me. Leave it to me.
My mind.
You're not getting.
We want to murder that one and then kill that one. So many mushrooms. We're looking okay though.
That's it.
What is your maximum focus? Is there a way of knowing what your maximum focus is? Because I'm pretty sure they get a... Yeah, biting whip modifies soul whip plus 20% damage plus 20% range damage. Soul whip passive focus below maximum. Effects plus 20% melee damage plus 20% range damage. But I don't know what your maximum focus is.
You're not getting through me.
My mind feels sharp as steel.
110 your maximum?
All right, then.
4 million insurance, 4 million payout. I was like 4 million in the hole from it. Yeah. Been there, done that. It's one of them. You sometimes take a loss on jobs. So, more often than not, keep them at range. Do not engage in melee. And
Hey,
above all else,
Werde
save and try again.
sawu.
If it's a big enough deal. I do try to play it a little bit more Iron Man. Where it's you only save and load on quitting the game.
all right then.
I mean, there's some hefty mechs. What were you doing?
It's done.
Alright, that stairs going down. I don't want to go down yet. I want to finish exploring this level of the map. How are you doing for health? You're not doing so great on the health? You got 100 spare, but 100 spare isn't a very good number.
Hey.
There you go, you got more than 100 spare.
Were they build on
Fair enough.
You're not getting through me.
Don't know where all your focus went. The thing over there is moving.
All right then.
Swamp lurker. Sounds like fun.
were they build on south?
Dead on.
Swamp slime, swamp lurker, more swamp slimes and more lurkers. Sounds like a fun place to be.
Dead on.
Hey.
Oh, we dominated one of the swamp slimes.
Dead on.
Gotta be coming close to that 15 by now, I reckon.
You're not getting through me.
Swamp slime's broken free. And now we got one final swamp lurker.
That's it.
Of course.
Yeah, money. And twigs. And the shadow the other side of the wall somehow. Savage masses at the gate with their arrows and swords and spears. Yearning for conquest and plunder, their chieftains and warriors feared not vengeance of gods, nor the wrath of their enemies. Death would not punish them. Okay, we've gone full circle, although there is a door over here that I just want to pop open and see what there is to see. Ow. Bum 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 bum. Open sesame seeds.
It's done.
Oh, these guys are not for fucking around. Oh shit. I totally forgot to change this guy's book back. I think that's the one. Yeah. Whoopsie. Can't change this slot in combat. No. You're not particularly useful to me right now.
That's not very hard.
Alright, everybody focus on one of them. And then focus on two.
That's it.
And summon some worms.
Oh. Throw up 10.
And focus on three. Seemed a lot easier once it all started dying. We're gonna get into so much trouble for being here. Hungering always for nations and gold. They were ruthless and fearless. Sura's supper plate. Stolen from the table of an ogre matron, Sura, by Ferran Dulca, after he infiltrated her compound to assassinate her. Sura's supper plate became the assassin's running joke. In the moment of his triumph, Ferran pulled the iron plate from under the matron's lifeless head and held it up like a shield. Thinking himself quite clever, he took the plate and several of Sura's eating utensils to the local blacksmith and had a shield fashioned from them. The sharp blades protruding from the front of the shield provide excellent deterrent against foes at close range, and Ferran took to wielding it regularly, until he lost his shield, his arm, and his life to Sura's daughter. And we get a tiny animat pet. Whether experimental or accidental, this miniature animat seems to function normally despite its size. It blazes with soul energy. Yeah, but you're not quite bacon, are you? And that is a shame, or else you'd be part of a team. So it's got retaliation. 6 to 10 piercing damage accuracy versus deflection, but it only got a deflection of 8 versus a deflection of 16. Oh, curious. I mean, occasionally when I wield the saber, I do use a shield, so I'll take it and see what it looks like. It doesn't really look much like a plate anymore. Kind of looks like one of them World War II pats. Brain buckets, anyway. Anyway, back to the gun. Yeah, I still feel there's some shadow there. Like there's a room not connected to this. I don't think this is a leads anywhere kind of thing. Although I feel that that might be where we ultimately want to end up. Just not going to get to it from here. Let us go down the stairs. Oops. Don't do whatever you were just about to do. I nearly accidentally played a video on my phone. I don't even know if my phone is muted at the moment, so God knows what you would have heard. I didn't loot a body. How reckless of me. Down the stairs. Series of pictographs, simple but clean, are carved into this column. Carved onto the column in this alcove. Figures of men and women with their arms raised are carved atop of the column. Suits of armor in the same pose have been chiseled into the bottom. This sounds like a fun little place. I mean, we are just mopping up in here. Adra grows from the central pillar and seems to spill down the steps, luminous egg-shaped. The stones are nestled within the rippling Adra. Got a very alien vibe to it. Oh. Another animat.
You're not getting through me.
That's why they seem dangerous. They start off by doing a volley of lightning.
That's the leave it to me.
It can seem like it's dangerous, but it's not excessively so. Could you all start murdering that one? And you three murder that one, and you shoot that one. Alright, everybody murder that one. Bum 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 bum. Ta-da! We survived another fight. Though we are looking a little bit rough. The scenes from a battle appear on this column. An army of men in loincloths and hides is gathered, dwarfed by the full suits of armor that loom over them. In the descending images, the armor crushes the army.
All right then.
I shall be discreet.
Where they be?
It's a big animat. Probably best if I actually take out the smaller ones first. Probably easier and won't mess me up as much if it did.
Can't get a good shot with this.
And then we can focus fire on that one. It's immune to so many things. Mainly of a cipher as well. Which is a bit disadvantageous seeing as though we brought a cipher. For the hope that they were going to be would be kind of useful. Seeing as though they are somewhat interesting spellcaster type.
All right then.
There's no one over here. You got the feeling that these two should really join in the rest of the fight. Fighters in iron, relentless and fierce as they fought. Fighters in iron, relentless and fierce as the thousands of foes. Images of men and women swinging hammers and heating iron over the forge fill this alcove. Well, we've come to a bit of a dead end. Only a little bit since there's a door here. That's something that I need to do. I'll switch out your grimoire for the one that has the good spells in it. That sounds like a plan. I'll wait until your spells are recharged. There we go.
Hey.
A man and a woman carved from lustrous arbor pour the contents of the vessel at their feet. An animate has appeared behind us. Through the door I just came through. It is a most curious appearance. Well, that's... I mean, we got 41 pick locks. What the deuce? What was that?
Dead on.
All right then.
Game keeps progressing like this. I think the rest of it's going to be a relatively easy cleanup. I don't think it's going to continue like this all the way through. Right, that requires picklocks to get out the front door. This side door does not. Can you not get this headset comfortable on this air right now? A column of hieroglyphs show men and women standing in a line and descending into a pool. The figures that emerge below in it stand with outstretched arms and triumphantly serene expressions.
Were de bil dan sawu.
For the Republic! Dead on!
Images in this alcove depict a row of pale stones surrounding a suit of armor. Something flows from the stones into the armor, imbuing it with a golden halo. Four egg-shaped stones sit atop short, narrow pedestals. All face the altar in the middle of the room. Hey, you're not moving around with everybody else? Just not feel like it?
Were de bil dan sawu.
Do. I keep thinking I see something moving out of the corner of my eye, and I think that it's chat, and it's not. It's probably just a timer at the top saying time is marching inexorably on.
Good shot with this.
Do. Yeah, welcome key. A man and woman carved from lustrous adra pour the contents of the vase at their feet, leaving the bodies to offer their souls and forsaking the weakness of flesh. Enfeebling of bone, the barbarians godless succumbed at last.
Were
Loot the bodies, loot the bodies. Time was a veil to the godless, no blessing to reap, no mercies to sow. The pictograms in this alcove portray a procession marching to an altar. A lone figure lies atop the altar. Another member of the procession drives a dagger into his heart. Something flows from the dying man into the white stone perched atop the altar. I mean, I'm guessing this is where they made animats. By stabbing people, imbuing their souls into the adra, and then putting it the soul imbued adra
slowly now.
into a shell that is inanimate. I do like that there is subtle clues, visual ones, to what's going on. Because it's just running along the corridor there, and it's like, I see skulls in the wall. I slowed down, and it's like, those skulls are... what's it? No, turn around, go. Open the door. And go through the door. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't know there was going to be traps there, but it was one of them ones. Like, oh, there's a skull there on the wall. Go slowly, and lo and behold, there is a trap. You know, I do like it when games play to expectations like that. And there's logical ways to work through traps or know that a trap is likely to be there. I think I'm just down there. This is very much like the device that went off, and at that point I became the Watcher. Something in the ether hums and buzzes through your teeth. A haze of essence lingers over the body, as faint and insubstantial as a dust plume in the rider's wake. Yet, as you draw closer, whispered instructions echo in your ears, and anticipation warms your blood. Alright, I shall catch you later, my cat. Hopefully, yeah, I should be streaming Prey tomorrow. If you're around, feel free to join. If not, don't worry about it. But yeah, hopefully catch you tomorrow sometime. Peace. In a vision, you see the sometimes I get the feeling that I should probably head off to bed as well, because I am tired. But I just know that if I ended the stream here and then crawled into bed, I'd just lie awake staring at the ceiling going, why am I here? So I might as well play video games until I do actually eventually just crash and fall asleep. In the vision. No, it says in our vision. In our vision, you see the same stone machine you approached moments ago, but from a different height and angle, as if seeing through different eyes. You'd heard rumours that some of your brethren were sent here months before, yet you see no sign that anyone has been here. In fact, the cobblestones are covered with a fine layer of dust, ash. You know suddenly what this will cost you, and you are ready. The orders were clear. The effects of the machine in Silaban Ragal were wearing off. A child had been born not too far from Dryford recently, its soul intact. The machine would need to be reactivated. You and your companions take up your position. You share a final look of affirmation between yourselves. You don't know your name, and you don't know theirs. They don't know your name. Not you don't know your name. They don't know your name, and you don't know theirs. But you know that what you're doing is the work of the gods together. None of the rest matters. Two carved bands of stone in the middle of the machine grind into motion. They rotate in opposite directions, picking up speed as they spin like freshly greased carriage wheels. A wind shrieks through the cavern, accelerating with the stone rings. You press your hands to your ears and grit your teeth against the noise. You're about to shut your eyes when you glimpse a new movement. Rows of triangular flaps around the machine open like petals. You don't know what's happening in the machine, but you feel a tingling at your extremities. Searing pain spreads through your body, a hot knife separating every tissue and ligament within you. All the while, it feels as if you're falling towards a machine, your stomach mashed against your spine. What happens next is too fast to process. You awaken from the vision to find yourself kneeling and gasping for air. Holding your head, you let the tiles beneath between your knees gradually come into focus. As you catch your breath, you remember the strange scene you saw just outside Silant List, where several robed figures fell amidst a howling bivouac. Looking at the ash scattered across the cabin floor, it is apparent that the leaden key has been doing this, whatever it is, all over Drywood. Yay, taxes have been paid. Unworn path. Among the kind wayfarers, in the event that a member of the Order dies of natural causes, it is customary for the Paladin to request burial in a dangerous place that is difficult to reach. In fulfilling their lost comrade's request, the other kind wayfarers forge new paths that others may more easily follow. When the elder paladin Adram Delphar died, his brothers and sisters set out for Red Flower Lake, and in the remote eastern part of Riadceres, but they never reached their destination. With so few kind wayfarers left in that part of the eastern reach, the Order has reached out for assistance in recovering their comrades and helping them see them to their resting place. I can only assign one of them. We lost a bit more and gained a little less. I don't like it. Build more defensive structures. I suppose at some point I should focus on the renowned or prestige. You're not going to let us past. I don't think this is loot. You hear running water and see a small stream that carves its way into the mountain. Inspect the stream. A shallow bottom flickers and wavers just under the water's edge, but you look towards the tunnel and the bottom disappears into darkness. From here, it's impossible to see how deep the stream is. However, a faint light plays along the walls of a tunnel. The echo of rushing water suggests that the tunnel and stream continue for quite some distance. Not loot. What is it? A banjo? Tish. You take slow, sloshing steps towards the mouth of the tunnel, holding yourself upright while the current tugs at your legs. The cold water leaves you gasping, and as it rises past your waist, you fight for control of your breaths. The stream bed soon drops out from under your feet, and the current pushes you towards the tunnel with growing force. Swim into the tunnel. The current pushes you towards the tunnel faster and faster, tugging you downwards. Over your head, the tunnel narrows and drops, leaving only a thin pocket of air. You take your final deep breath before the current drags you into the depths. Rays of light pierce the darkness, but the current is moving too fast now for you to see more than flickering glimpses as you speed by. You keep your hands in front of you and focus on avoiding the jagged rocks that suddenly appear in the darkness, jutting from the walls. A light winks at you up ahead. You're approaching it fast, but it looks like the mouth of a second, smaller tunnel. You might be able to reach it, but your lungs have started to ache. Grab the edge of a tunnel. You wrap your fingers around the rocks lining the tunnel and peer into it. It terminates in a dead end, but something glints amongst the rocks at the far side. Reaching it would be a challenge for anyone without strong lung capacity. Send Ida. Ida pulls himself into the tunnel, executing deft scissor kicks while the passage narrows. At the end, he finds a skeleton with a handle protruding from its ribs. Ida pulls it free and pushes off from the wall, propelling himself back towards the main tunnel. Swirling and tumbling through the darkness of the tunnel, you see a halo of light above, and you swim and kick towards it. At last, your head breaks the surface. You gulp air into your aching lungs, and you pull yourself to the edge of the pool. Crawling out of the water, you look at the cavern around you as you massage feeling back into your aching, cold, numb limbs. You gained an item, the Rose of Salt Hollow, added to your inventory. Oh. I mean, kind of convenient. Unique Morning Star, two-handed, great stuff. That can go in the box. Actually, no. Does it need to go in the box? It might need to go in the box. Pull it out a moment and compare. So we've got slashing and piercing damage, but of the same damage amount. Interrupt is longer, but speed is also slow. Corrode damage as a bonus. Plus 20% of damage restored as endurance. That might be useful. It already has a fine attachment to it, which is accuracy 4, damage 15. It's a bit annoying that I can't replace it, I believe. Or I don't think I can replace it. I don't actually know. Unfortunately, don't have the required bits. Vithrek, brain, and rubies. Still, I think what I'll do, just in case, I have both weapons slotted. A friend of mine pulls the loot jokes on me frequently and had to take the opportunity to do one of your own. Fair enough. This is the exit. I mean, this is the exit right behind the barbarians, but it'll just be funny watching them and then probably having to kill them. Because I don't think they're going to like the fact that I've just walked out of the ruins behind them. The warriors turn to you as you exit the ruin. Their painted faces betray shock and anger. You warned Estramora. Estramor. And I'm not sure if you realize that I go wherever I want, whenever I want. And there's nothing you can do to stop me.
Hey.
Dead on.
All right then.
Then go back to the Hermit of Hadred house. let's go in there first. I want to see if I can find this parchment of whale, scroll of whale, parable of whale. Okay, I don't think it's here because it said something about a farmhouse. I'm sitting on the path towards Dryford village. I don't see a farmhouse here either. Oh wait, no, there's this. Is this it? Is this what I'm after? A group of thieves have stolen a scroll of whale from the halls of revealed mysteries in Defiance Bay. The High Archivist, Grimdar, wants me to track down the thieves and recover the scroll. Grim said one of the thieves mentioned an abandoned farm on the path to Dryford. This might be an abandoned farm. It's got a fence. It's got a house of some variety. It doesn't much look like a farm, but it's a pen of some variety. Hello, thief. Who cast that spell? Was it you? Ivan? Yeah, Ivan. How are you doing? You are okay for hit points. Okay. Say you're okay for hit points. You're not great for hit points, but you could be worse. Okay, Pellegrin, lost target, go after that thing. Alright, the main problems at the back are dead. You're a dirty red big barbarian. Somehow a thief managed to survive all of that in the middle.
Alright then.
Right. Loot the bodies. New scroll book. The sun-touched mail of Hadra Wrath. I mean, that can go in somebody's inventory. That can go in my inventory. And the rest is junk. As you take the scroll, you hear a voice. You found it. Now, lose it again. What? You think the thief, this thief was an accident? The voice seems to shift, as if the speaker were constantly changing age, race, and sex. My relics were never meant to stay in one place for long. They are meant to be lost and found. It is the search that gives a thing value. Take it to Black Meadow. Find the drake that faces east and bury it beneath its skull. I mean, that's... I like this game on being weird. It's just like, you know, a scroll talking to you. Why not? It could happen. It's imbued with somebody's essence, and ta-da, it speaks to you. I mean, it's a long way to Black Meadow. But I do also need to go to Sid and Niwa, and I could do with resting up. And I think I'd rather listen to the scroll than a person, because it's funnier that way.
Better indeed.
Everybody always says, oh, it's better here. Bad visitor. Shalom the Shackler, a slaver from Ridad Saris, has arrived at your keep, seeking your counsel on some business matters. And the Woodland Trails construction is complete. Yay! So we're up to 39, and we got a 1. We got a 1. We got a 2. Alright, looks like we're doing the training grounds for number 2. The training grounds provide a place to hone your skills in combat. Upgrading the ground grants you a might bonus upon resting in Bright Hollow. I thought that I was walking into the keep for a moment, then it's like, no, this is Bright Hollow, I want to go rest. I do wish it's one of them where it's like, it seems weird that, you know, there's people milling around, and yeah, okay, they don't have enough funds and time to be cleaning up the place and restoring it. Ah, that's interesting. I was hoping that it was an accumulative, not a choice. Although it does last for 3 rests, so you can have up to 3 of these potentially going. We're going to go with the stealth bonus, because athletics and... no, we'll go with the athletics and constitution. The constitution should increase everybody's health a little bit. And the athletics don't go amiss. Bum 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 bum. Pom 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 pom. Da da da. Da da da. Yeah, ta 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 ta.
Better indeed.
Kind of person who has bad habits of picking at fraying things, and it's like I could do with you not fraying any further, but for that I need it to not be attached to the thing that it's fraying from. There we go. Right. Save. Grader. I'm Grader. I'm a researcher in the field of animancy. I could use some assistance if you're willing to hear me out. Very well, let's hear it. You call your allies together and motion the petitioner to step forward. I am looking into the Buick problem. That is, forces that can unhouse souls from their vessels. I'm trying to develop some kind of defense to protect people against these forces. The trouble is, investigating what unhouses souls in the first place requires, well, souls. I haven't been able to arrange any test subjects. I need your help. We've lost so many people to these Buicks already. Imagine if we could prevent such things from ever happening again. Perhaps you can use something other than Kif for these tests? I'd be willing to try using alternatives if that is your suggestion. There are vessels all over Heritage Hill. I'm sure the people of Defiance Bay would appreciate you thinning them out a little. Yes, but working with vessels can be dangerous. She wrings her hands anxiously. Hire some muscle. That ought to help. It certainly will, thank you. I'll put the money to good use. With a good team, I'm sure I can gather a few subjects. A cure can't be far away. Your stronghold has gained 1 prestige. You have lost 2,000 copper. So I can buy prestige, can I? At last, I'm glad you're here, my lady. My name is Salma. I've a matter of some importance to discuss, if you have the time. Very well, let's hear it. You gesture your allies to join you and take your place upon your throne. I'll cut to the meat of it. I have a dozen Northern slaves in the port of Girara. Good, healthy stock that will fetch a fine price in Ixil. If I can get a ship up the coast. That is the tricky part. I haven't got the coin to stock the ship for a whole journey, not without docking at Briarwood port along the way and running the risk of having my goods seized. Really, these Briarwood laws are completely impractical for an honest merchant travelling outside of Defiance Bay. I hope you could be of some assistance. You're not originally from the Briarwood, I hear, so surely you understand. I'd like a moment to discuss this with my people. Of course, of course. Salma inclines his head politely and steps out of earshot. Hieroglyphs, I want you to head down to Girara, and see if you can free these slaves. I would love to. It gives me something to do with my hands while I plot this man's painful death. They will be busy for 5 days. Motion for your guest to return. Have you come to a decision? Yes. I've decided to hang you. Guards, take him away. What? You can't be... Stop! This is madness! You can't do this to me. I'm pretty sure I just did. And it's just like... Salma the Shackles leaves the stronghold. Salma the Shackler was executed. No further questions. He doesn't. Solma didn't begin his journey back to Girara. I murdered him. I mean, executed him. Did I murder somebody? Is judgment murder? Is there anything in the box for me? Ooh, there is actually. Madness. This is Sparta. Oh, yeah. This was the interesting thing. So we've got endurance plus 15. We've got -1 resolve. We've got plus 10 concentration and interruption. We've got plus 10 attack speed, and we've got plus 5 to all defenses. So the only thing that we lose is 1 resolve. What is resolve? Resolve reflects the character's internal drive, determination, fearlessness, and emotional intensity that they can project to others. It can be used for mental intimidation, leadership, and convincing performances. In combat, it helps a character maintain concentration and contributes to the will and deflection defenses. Ah, it's actually part of deflection. What are your gloves? On crit multiplier of crit multiplier bonus 10. I feel they should kill a few people. Right, so that's not great for you. What about you? I forgot to check this. It's not great for you. Because while it is slightly better DR, it's a lot worse for the speed. And what about you? Slightly slower, slightly less. Can I enchant this with equality? I can do. I should see if I can find some of this Vivrak brain and some of these things. Because again, +4 damage reduction on that. Slightly slower, but it would increase the DR by a bit. And it grants Sunbeam and slows poison and disease effects. But it's not very good at being armor for the moment. Should at some point just start selling these traps, because I'm not using them. As Lord of the Castle, you are the judge, so hanging him is justified and legal. It's only murder if it's against the law. Fair enough. I'm never quite sure on the legal definitions of killing people. Apart from regicide is very bad.
The stones and the spirits in this place have begun to heal.
What was I doing now? I think I'm gonna go bury a scroll, because a scroll told me to. Which I find slightly more humorous than giving it back to the person. Boop, boop, boop. And we've only got 23 minutes left. Roughly. Of the stream. It's a long way to go just to bury a piece of paper, but we're doing it for the lols. If your men kill a person you haven't sentenced to death, it's murder. If you sentence a man to die and they kill him, then it's a legal execution. Right, so they want me to... What did the piece of paper say? I'm the skull of a drake looking east. Nope. Nope. Are you a drake looking east? You are a drake looking east. This drake skull faces east. The soil underneath is moist and soft. Bury the scroll of whale. As you cover the ancient scroll with the last handful of soil, the shifting voices speaks in your head once more. Well done, Watcher. Grimdar will want to know what happened to it, but I'm not sure how she'll take this information. Yeah. I mean, when you put it like that, it seems like it's relatively clear cut, but the thing is, I don't actually know how much authority I have in this area, strictly speaking. 1 day and 14 hours and 15 minutes to go to Copper Lane. You know, I've executed the guy, or I've had the guy killed. Legally, as far as I am concerned. What do you mean I had to pay them again? Man. Yeah, I did get paid myself between the last paycheck, so I'll accept it. Still...
Leave the pig alone.
That's interesting. I've never seen that level of interaction before in many games. Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a little limb and I'm saying never seen that level of interaction between an NPC talking to their companion about what is essentially just a cosmetic pet. I mean, there's not many games that have these things, but at the same token, those that do very rarely get called out like that. If it's your castle, then you are the law. I mean, yes, but how far does my dominion stretch? Because I'm not entirely sure how much of that, you know, it's my castle because it was abandoned and I moved in. Not sure how much legal weight that holds. Yes, okay, there's some legalities that are in motion, but that is still contested with the lord of the castle who was looking after the place but abandoned it. I'm essentially a squatter with some degree of authority because it's up for debate. Finders keepers, pretty much. I'm not sure if that works when you're like, yes, I want you executed. Why? My castle, my rules. Grimda glances down her spectacles, ever inquisitive, I see. So I found the scroll, but Whale asked me to hide it again. She gives you a long, stern look. I call anyone else a liar with a story like that, but coming from you, she squints behind her thick spectacles. There is a certain logic, after all. And if you've served Whale, then you've served me too. She presents you blah 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 blah. People have had power for stupid and more nonsensical reasons. Yeah, I suppose, but it's a thing. She presents you with a folded section of fabric. Whale is both keeper and discoverer of secrets. May this hood aid you in revealing what is obscured and keep you hidden from those who wish you harm. The footpad's hood. You find a key in your palm. You are also free to visit the Elder Archives and take whatever books or scrolls you may find in the open. Spreading and circulating new mysteries is part of our service to the obscured. What else do you need? Farewell. Is there a door around here? See, I got a key to the Elder Archives. I don't know. Oh, is that this room? Hey. Yoink. Yoink. The life and discoveries of Pangram. Mention the name Pangram to anyone with even passing knowledge of animancy, and you can find yourself in a very long discussion. Publicly reviled, but privately lauded as a hero and genius. Pangram's history is at turns revolutionary, horrific, and mysterious. Pangram was fascinated, some may say obsessed, with the concept of animancy. It consumed his life as he dedicated everything to understand it. He would frequently travel to Glenfarth and Briarwood to visit the Ifwigan ruins. There he would take notes and make sketches, bring anything back with him that he could help unlock the mysteries. After years of study, Pangram had reached the point where he could no longer conduct research on his own, and he took on an assistant, Helgrig of Fine. Soon, Helgrig was making trips to Glenfarth in Pangram's stead, gathering knowledge while Pangram stayed behind to experiment. This partnership quickly bore fruit, and Pangram made a breakthrough, one that would irrevocably change his life and the general attitude about animancy forever. While the specifics of his experimentation will never truly be known, the rumors and stories that still circulate tell that he had sent out inquiries, asking for live subjects for help with a dangerous experiment that might change their life, or might end it. Those who were already dying were especially encouraged to apply. Response was overwhelming, and Pangram had his pick of numerous willing bodies. That is when he had his breakthrough. He discovered a way to fix a soul, anchoring it to its body so that it could never leave at death. He had discovered eternal life. His research and life work has resulted in the greatest singular discovery that animancy could hope for. His findings were published and quickly spread through Verlaine and beyond. While some groups, the Wodekin Church for example, decried his work as nothing more than blasphemy and heresy. Many put it to practice. Everyone wanted a chance at immortality. But everything comes with a cost. It quickly became apparent that simply restraining the soul while keeping the person technically alive was doing nothing for the body, which continued to decay, devouring and warping the soul now trapped inside it. The creatures it created were dangerous, carnivorous beasts that killed brutally and indiscriminately. The backlash was ruthless. The practice of Pangram's discoveries was outlawed. His works were collected and burnt. He and Helig were branded as heretics and hunted, chased from town to town until Pangram simply vanished. Helig was tracked down, captured, and brought to trial for the atrocities committed against Villain and its people. The trial was barely more than a formality to bring charges against him, as everyone knew what a hand he had played in the disaster. He was sent to prison for years, but eventually released once public outrage died down. Not long after his patrol, he disappeared as well. Occasionally talk surfaces of a copy of Pangram's theorems has been found, untouched by the purging flames that destroyed its brothers. These rumors seldom end up being more than that. The many groups and wealthy individuals have formed, sending out a call to anyone who will listen. Find us a copy of the theorems. They offer gold, jewelry, status, anything they can entice adventurers to help them achieve their goals. For there are those who would give anything a chance. Who would give anything a chance at immortality. I think that should be everything. For there are those who would give everything a chance. Anything a chance? That sentence doesn't pause well in my brain. For there are those who would give anything a chance at immortality, even become a monster. So yoinking abandoned castle and claiming domain over the surrounding lands is about as legal as any has been given of the castle. Yeah. So yes, there was a thing where the Pangrams of theorems are actually here, but I spoke to the wrong person, or the right person maybe, and they put it further out of reach. I have a feeling that I'm starting to get a glimpse at what those... So there was a device that was in Silentlis and Caliban Releg. I think there was also one in Heritage Hill, but I think that was not... That was different. For some reason that I can't quite remember right now. But those devices are the Pillars of Eternity, potentially absorbing souls, maybe channeling them to this leaden Theos of the leaden key and giving them immortality and powers. It's just a wild stab in the dark at this point. Like I say, that would be my guess at the moment. I want the map and I want to go here, Crucible Keep, because there's somebody here that I need to talk to about a thing. Oh, Ida wants to talk.
Hope I didn't seem ungrateful back there in the battlefield. And you went out of your way.
It was important to you.
Got real close. Didn't expect that. Now, for a second, I thought I was gonna finally see some answers. Foolish, of course. And why should I get answers? There's a world of Aethasians out there, don't know if their god's been blown up. Still, man can't help looking back. Guess you'd know that well as anyone.
Ida stares off, focusing on some distant thing, unseen and unrealized.
I might have turned my back on my god when he needed me. That's all I'll ever know.
You did what you had to. Even if Waidwin was Eothas, his actions were destructive.
His actions didn't seem righteous enough for a god. That's why me and Woden had Widewind figured for a pretender. It didn't occur to me that my god might actually mean to do harm to his own. Something to think about, I guess.
I don't want to just move one person, I want to move everybody. Why would you not think I mean everybody? There's a button here, select all. Why I don't click that, I don't know. There we go. Sorry, just needing to open up some more vape, liquid stuff.
Ghost.
Right. Who am I here to see? I think it's a missing sentry's Willa. Willa? Willa. Wella. I hate Y as a vowel. It just can be anything. It can be an E, or it can be an I, or it can be a Y. I have no idea where you are. I have no idea at all. Is it a barracks? Or the training room? It's not the barracks, I've just been up there. Well, there's also this room. I think that's an armory. And that's a kitchen. Ah. Isla. Any news from Heritage Hill? Your guards were charmed by the spirit of a woman named Lyra. I've gotten rid of her. Her tired eyes grow round. By the flame, you found her. My missing commander? She heaves a sigh and loses her gaze at the floor tiles. And she was calling to the watch from beyond the grave. It doesn't make sense, but nothing in that accursed district does. What happened to the soldiers under her spell? They didn't make it. I see. Nevertheless, thank you for your help. You've left me with as many questions as answers, but at least I know what happened to my troops and Commander Lyra. Please accept this token of my gratitude. If there's nothing else, I must attend to my duties. Somebody got paid. Nope. Okay. Can't remember if I'm supposed to be doing something else for this faction art. I like the way it's keeping track of in-game time as sensible enough figures where it's like 2 months and so many days, because you sometimes see it's like just counting up days. And it's like, you've been at this 90 days, and you know, when it starts getting into like 200 days, it's like 200 days is a long time, but you've no real... It's one of them numbers where it's like, it starts jarring the brain. It's like, that doesn't... You know, 200 days, that's not 6 months, it's not a year. It just starts getting messy. It's about 7 months, just short of 7 months at a reasonable guess. Based on, you know, half of all of them being about 30. You know, it just jars the brain, and you have to really think about it. Whereas if it's just like, oh yeah, you've been at this 2 months, it's like, alright, cool. That's where overtime went. So you're lucky it's not playing 2 months out in real time. Do I have a reputation with these people? I don't think I do. But yes, I think this is where we're just about going to call it. Because it is coming up to time, and I don't really want to get too... You know, I'm here to discuss the next part with... whatever they're called. Get a quick save just in case it automatically starts talking the moment I enter the room. Lady Webb. I want to talk to Lady Webb about what is going on and what is the next steps. But that is going to have to wait until next time. Save. Thank you. Alright, thank you for joining me this evening. I am Karen Rossmore and will continue to be so. This is my Thursday stream of Pillars of Eternity. Tomorrow I will be back at 9 o'clock GMT for some Prey, probably. Although I might spin up Hitman and see what's going on there. If they have actually started year 2 of Hitman 3. So be curious to see what they've got going on. I've heard of some of the developments, but I've not actually checked them out. If nothing else, you can usually find me around the internet on Twitch, on Discord. Just watching various people, including Meka_UK, JStation64, Krifu Banal, and RetroTed. But we all hang out on the Discord. We're link in chat, and failing that, I will be back on Monday, where I am GMing Starfinder Adventure Path Live Free or Die in a stream that we call All the Glitters Explodes over Manapot Studios. Link now in the chat. And I'll be back on my channel next Tuesday with more Pillars of Eternity. We are going to raid out. We are going to raid out to J Station 64, who is currently streaming some No Man's Sky. I honestly couldn't tell you what he's been up to recently. I think he's trying to make money, which is a reasonable goal, but at the same token, it's like there's so many ways of making money in that game where it's like he's making money. Ta-da! But yes, if you all want to join me for that, that would be appreciated. If not, I hope you have a good time zone, and I'll see you next time. Until then, tidy bye. I will click on the right scene one day, just straight to it. It's not today.